Good day. My name is Sherlock Holmes and I'm the President and CEO of Genware Computer Systems. I'd like to thank you and welcome you to today's session. Just before I hand it over to the presenters to cover their exciting content, I'd like to give you a quick introduction to Genware Computer Systems. I like to think about ourselves as the smallest global company. Genware Computer Systems is a New Jersey-based organization, and we provide solutions and services in the field of advanced analytics and data provisioning to organizations across the USA, Canada, and Latin America. In the United Kingdom, we provide services through our joint venture organization, DataShack Limited, and in Africa, we work with our joint venture partner, DataShack Pty Limited, and the Genware Shack. In Africa, we also have an organization named NRG Africa that focuses on natural language generation, specifically doing a lot of work with multilingual natural content being generated. Of course, in the USA, Genware provides services in natural language generation as well. We have an office in Montevideo, Uruguay, servicing our Latin American companies and customers. And we also work with Linko, a partner based in Mexico, with extensive experience using the TIBCO technology stack for integration and analytics services. Across our organization, we work very closely with TIBCO and we all belong to the TIBCO Elite Partner Program. At Genware, we believe in leveraging information as an asset. To do that, you need to source information, you need to optimize the storage of that information and make it ready and easy to use. You need to govern that information, and then you need to deliver that information and leverage the tools and technologies we have available today to explore, analyze, and make decisions on the information. Of course, today information comes to us much faster than ever before and from many more data sources than it did in the past. So other than just building data warehouses or data marts, we're now involved with a fully functional data fabric that's required. The data fabric allows us to source information from different areas, allows us to use different types of information, also allows us to interact with information that's streaming in real time. We leverage data virtualization to provide quick access to this, to handle federating data sources and integrating it, governing data. We leverage master data management solutions to ensure that the integration provides an accurate view of data that's been integrated from multiple systems. And we use a data catalog to make it easy for end users and analysts to quickly discover new data that's been made available through the data fabric. For visual analytics and dashboarding and data exploration, we use TIBCO Spotfire. We also do work with streaming analytics using TIBCO Stream so that we can make decisions on data as it comes through the pipeline and actually visualize that directly in TIBCO Spotfire visualizations. We use TIBCO Data Science for the data science and predictive capabilities that it brings to the table. Machine learning and predictive analytics is becoming core to our process and being able to leverage large volumes of data and make decisions on transactions that are happening in real time. To do all of this, the TIBCO technology stack allows us to bring products that are tightly integrated that provide best-of-breed type functionality to our customers. Genware Computer Systems is a multi-year award winner of the TIBCO Partner of the Year award. And we have a nice little video that speaks specifically to our partnership. I'm not going to play the video now, but it's readily available on our website. Our partnership with TIBCO is an important one because it brings all the technologies together that are needed to build advanced analytics solutions. Genware Computer Systems has a very strong relationship with TIBCO. In addition, as I mentioned, to the Partner of the Year awards that we've received, we do collaborate not only with their sales teams, but very closely with their engineering teams, as well as their services teams. Being able to bring expertise from Genware, coupled with the technologies from TIBCO, to you, our customer, and leverage your experience with your business and your processes, together we can collectively leverage information as an asset and implement analytic solutions that really make a difference so that you can make decisions in real time and as and when they have an impact on your business process. So with no further ado, I'm now going to hand it over to the presenters. And again, thank you very much for joining us. I trust you're going to have a lot of benefit out of today's session.
Thanks, Sherlock. I'm John Matoski. I'm a solutions architect at Genware Computer Systems. I've been with Genware since 2006, working on analytics solutions using IBM and TIBCO technologies. Today, I'm going to be talking about the semantic layer and show a couple of tools that implement a semantic layer in different reporting platforms. Enterprise business intelligence platforms leverage a semantic layer to provide users with governed access to enterprise data. Developers build the base model to include various underlying databases such as the Enterprise Data Warehouse, and then extend this model with a business view of the data. Using security in the model provides a governed layer from which business analysts can further create views of information for use in analytics tools. Keep in mind that using these technologies ties you to the BI reporting layer. Organizations undergoing digital transformation have realized that while the semantic layer provides many benefits, including data governance and security, technologies have evolved, and providing data as a service requires catering to a variety of reporting and analytic technologies. In this demonstration, we'll use a Cognos Framework Manager model as an example. We'll show how to use TIBCO Data Virtualization to incorporate this functionality in an architecture that supports all analytic technologies, but still provides governed, easy-to-use data layer with all the same security. The data we'll be looking at today is sales data for an outdoor equipment company. Let's start in Framework Manager, which gives us a semantic layer within the IBM Cognos technology stack. So here we are in Framework Manager. It is a developer tool in the IBM Cognos platform. It basically allows the reporting and analytics engine in Cognos to reach into the database, whether it's a relational database, big data sources, or multidimensional cubes, and tells the reporting tool how to access the data and how to query the data and what data governance to apply and security to apply. So we take a layered approach when building our Framework Manager model. So we've got our physical layer, which is the raw data tables coming from the database, our business layer, which is where we create the relationships between the tables. So we can see here our star schema represented here in the business layer. And then we have a presentation layer, which just packages it up and makes it usable for the end users in the reporting tools. And so this is a common feature, this layering with any semantic layer technology, and we're going to see how that mirrors in TIBCO Data Virtualization. So when I go into IBM Cognos, I see my presentation layer, I see my sales query subject that we created, and I can create visualizations like the one on the right here. So I'm looking at sales by product line. I can drag and drop and just see what is my sales total overall in my data. And we can see all the data is available to me through that view. So next, we're going to look at the corresponding TIBCO Data Virtualization model. Okay, so in this section of the demo, we're going to be going over TIBCO Data Virtualization. So TIBCO Data Virtualization is a semantic layer tool that allows us to create a semantic layer and leverage it across analytics platforms. So we're going to look at how we can take our Framework Manager model, which was in the IBM Cognos stack, and recreate it in data virtualization, and then it can be leveraged across analytics tools. And we're going to look at a couple examples of that. So first off, when we get into TIBCO Data Virtualization, we look and we see we have the same three-layered approach with a physical layer, business layer, presentation layer. We also add the analyst layer, which is the ability for analysts to go in and define their own query subjects based on their requirements. In the physical layer, we have the same raw data tables from the database that we saw in Framework Manager. In the business layer, we look and we see the same sales model exists with the same relationships between the tables. And finally, our presentation layer has the same sales query subject with all of the different columns and data available that we saw in Framework Manager. So the same data governance and security is going to get applied in TIBCO Data Virtualization that we would have done in Framework Manager. And so we're leveraging the same techniques and the same semantic layer, but we're able to use it across different analytics platforms. So that's what we'll take a look at next. So first off, we're going to look at Cognos. So in IBM Cognos, we can reach into a TIBCO Data Virtualization source, the same as we would any other relational database or multidimensional database. And it just looks like another database to Cognos. So when we plug into that, we can see our sales query subject, and it basically looks the same. We've got our different analyst query subjects that we've created in data virtualization, and we've got our sales, and the sales looks the same. The data comes out and we're able to produce the same dashboards that we did against our framework manager source. All right, so next we're going to look at how we can use Power BI to leverage that TIBCO data virtualization model that we've created. So we connect to TIBCO data virtualization the same as we would any other source. So in this case, we're using the ODBC connector for TDV. And when we pull in the data, we see it's the same sales data that we created the presentation layer for. We also have our different analyst created sources if we wanted to use that. And when we drag and drop, we can create the same charts and dashboards that we could in Cognos as well as in other tools. So next up, we're going to look at leveraging TIBCO Data Virtualization in Spotfire. All right, so looking at Spotfire, we see the same sales data is available with the same columns, the same measures, and the same dimensions. It's basically the same presentation layer now available in Spotfire using the same governed data with the same security because it's all sharing the same semantic layer of TIBCO Data Virtualization. So by switching from using and building our semantic layer in Framework Manager, we've been able to rebuild it, apply the same security and the same governance that we had there in TIBCO Data Virtualization and leverage that data now across multiple platforms. So we've accessed it in Cognos and dashboards, we've accessed it in Spotfire, and we've accessed it in Power BI, getting the same results, producing the same charts and graphs and same dashboards, all off of the same semantic layer without having to build that layer out in each tool. I'd like to hand back to you, Sherlock.
Well, thank you very much for that informative presentation. I'd like to just wrap out once again by saying thank you very much for attending the session today. Please, if you have any questions, our contact information is on the screen. Drop us an email. I'd love the opportunity to speak with you and find out what you're doing and how what you've seen today may be applicable to solving a problem for yourself. Thank you very much again for joining, and have a great day.